Hello everybody, Northern Hero here again. How are we all doing? You know, the other day I had the words, I will make you the lender and not the borrower. And I had that really strong on me. When somebody at work wanted to lend some money, and at first I didn't want to lend it because I thought, I've lent people things before in the past, including Christians, and not got it back, or it's took ages at getting it back. So that's why I've never really liked to lend anything out, because of past experiences. And if I lend anything from anybody, if it's money, I pay it back immediately, because I don't like this conscience thing weighing on my mind, and this like a guilty conscience basically. No, I have to pay what I owe straight away. And this individual the other day kept saying, I've no money. Oh, I forgot my bank card as well, so I can't go to the bank. And he asked another person, and then he mentioned it a few times, and then I says, I don't like lending money out to people because it's always on my mind, and I don't like lending it. But after a bit, I got this strong thought straight away, basically. Well, it kept coming, this thought, what I was thinking a few days before: I'll make you the lender and not the borrower. Now, I'm sure there's something like that in the Bible, but I can't find the exact scripture. So after a bit, I lent him, this person, £10, which he wanted to borrow. And I don't know why on earth, I had this negative feeling of, negative thoughts of not wanting to lend any of my money out. So when I told my dad about it, about that thought, my dad says, "Oof, I've got a great witness. That is from God." So now I'm going to be reading a few scriptures about lending money out and stuff. Where is it? Now, I just typed it in, and it looks as though that all these scriptures are English Standard Version, which is good because I like that version. So Proverbs 19:17 says, I'm not going to read them all actually, I might read a few. Proverbs 19:17 says, whoever is generous to the poor lends to the Lord, and he will repay him for his deed. Luke 6:35, but love your enemies and do good and lend, expecting nothing in return, and your reward will be great, and you will be sons of the Most High, for he is kind to the ungrateful and the evil. Matthew 5:42, give to the one who begs from you, and do not refuse the one who would borrow from you. Luke 6:34, and if you lend to those from whom you expect to receive, what credit is that to you? Even sinners lend to sinners to get back the same amount. These are quite interesting. Proverbs 22:7, the rich rules over the poor, and the borrower is the slave of the lender. Psalm 37:26, he is ever lending generously, and his children become a blessing. Exodus 22:25-27, if you lend money to any of my people, with you who is poor, you shall not be like a money lender to him, and you shall not exact interest from him. If ever you take your neighbour's cloak in pledge, you shall return it to him before the sun goes down, for that is his only covering, and it is his cloak for his body. What else? In what else shall he sleep? And if he cries to me, I will hear, for I am compassionate. Psalm 112:5. It is well with the man who deals generously and lends, who conducts his affairs with justice. Leviticus 25:35-37. If your brother becomes poor and cannot maintain himself with you, you shall support him as though he were a stranger and a sojourner, and he shall live with you. Take no interest from him or profit, but fear your God, that your brother may live beside you. You shall not lend him money at interest, nor give him your food for profit. Ezekiel 18:13. Lends at interest and takes profit. Shall he then live? He shall not live. He has done all these abominations. He shall surely die. His body shall be upon himself. Proverbs 28:8. Whoever multiplies his wealth by interest and profit gathers it for him who is generous to the poor. Deuteronomy 15:8-10. But you shall open your hand to him and lend him sufficient for his need. Whatever it may be, take care lest there may be an unworthy thought in your heart, and you say, the 7th year, the year of release, is near, and your eye look grudgingly on your poor brother, and you give him nothing. And he cry to the Lord against you, and you be guilty of sin. You shall give to him freely, and your heart shall not be grudging when you give to him, because for this the Lord your God will bless you in all your works and in that you undertake. I'm just going to read two more of these ones anyway. Isaiah 24:2 says, and it shall be, as with the people, so with the priest, as with the slave, so with his master, as with the maid, so with the mistress, as with the buyer, so with the seller, as with a lender, so with the borrower, as with the creditor, so with the debtor. I've just typed in borrower and lender Bible scriptures,